Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the crash course for Captain Britain. Today, I'm gonna go through his kit, talk about his T4 upgrades and his Awakening upgrades. We're gonna be talking about building him, ISO classes, Dark Dimension prospects. So, if that's exciting for you, let's get into it. Come on. Let's start with his passive, which is where I usually like to start. It's a hefty one. Champion of the Isles. On spawn, apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all Illuminati allies. This is replicated with Iron Man, so you can tell they intend for Iron Man to be the one that's left out. On turn, that we're gonna get into next week once we can test live with the whole team. On turn, attack all enemies for 140% damage, flip immunity, and apply offense down to each target. On turn, every time he takes a turn, he's gonna flip immunity. So if you had immunity, it's turning into disrupt, and he's gonna apply offense down. When this character or an Illuminati, and that's in any game mode, not just in Crucible, sorry. When this character or an Illuminati ally drops below 50% health, if his health is above 50%, he's gonna reflexive taunt. He's gonna apply 2 deflect up to a maximum of 5 to self and all hero allies. When this character drops below 30% health, he's gonna flip taunt to stealth on self, and then he's gonna gain defense up for 2 turns. I think if he has safeguard, he won't be able to do this. I wish they had said gain stealth instead of flip taunt, because with safeguard he won't be able to flip the taunt. While this character has taunt, lower the crit chance for all enemies by 100%, gain 50% resistance for self and all Illuminati allies, gain 50% armor for self and all Illuminati allies. While this character's health is above 50%, gain damage and massive focus. While this character's health is below 50%, gain armor and massive resistance. And the key aspect of his kit. In Crucible, speed bar cannot be filled or reduced by any character for themselves, allies, or enemies. So this is the key part. This is what makes him epic. It's really important. Speed bar is one of the most broken mechanics in this game, and he just puts a stop to that in Crucible. So he's gonna be a key character even without the rest of his team. He's just gonna be insane. So the T4, when this character or an Illuminati drops below 50%, he's gonna clear all negative effects on self. And then the T4 also increases the damage on his passive aggression. This is a nice T4. I wouldn't call it essential, but it's very nice. Well, let's look at the Awakening. The Awakening gives 20% drain to the attack on turn. Again, nice, but not game breaking. Like if they were to put out an offer for this T4, I wouldn't be looking to get that. I don't think that it's that interesting. It's very nice, don't get me wrong, 20% drain, especially if he's a fortifier, that's going to go up to 60%, and he just does that on turn before he even attacks. That's great, but it's not essential. It doesn't change the game. The T4, again, very, very nice. Clearing all negative effects on self, because he's probably going to taunt. It's great, but yeah. Would I call this near essential? No, I would call it very good. And then the Awakening, I would also call very good. All right, ultimate ability. Sorry, 1 second. ultimate ability. Um, this is ready on turn 1. It's 6 out of 6. Attack primary, apply stun, apply disrupted, and then 2 turns of trauma. Stun and disrupted for 1 turn. If his health is above 50%, gain taunt and immunity. If his health is below 50%, clear all negative effects on self. In Crucible, on defense, so this is smart targeting, he's going to attack the Bio Brawler with the highest damage, ignoring taunt and stealth. So Bio Brawlers, Super Skrull, Red Hulk, uh, those are like the biggest ones that would have highest damage. Captain Marvel. Um, yeah, let let's look at it. Bio. I think it's a call out for Skrull, but yeah, Skrull, Red Hulk, Titania. Um, I guess there might be a way to um, it's Super Skrull. I didn't want to belabor it. Yeah, it's for Super Skrull. All right, so he's gonna stun the Bio Brawler, and apply trauma, so he can't. Super Skrull can't clear it, and he gains taunt and immunity. So you know how Super Skrull applies stun to the enemy, when he gets stunned, uh, he won't be able to stun Captain Britain because he has immunity. Ignoring taunt and stealth, if he is above 50%, he's also going to apply immunity to all hero allies. This is unavoidable and unblockable. Unavoidable is great. Alright. So the T4 increases the damage by quite a bit, and then it changes the immunity to 2 turns. I think that's very nice. Again, not essential. But the awakening, you know how without the awakening he cleanses only when he's below 50%? This makes it where he always cleanses. And again, I don't think it's essential, but this is very high value. I think that's worth an awakening. This was part of the offer situation, so if they put it out again, I would recommend going after this one. But again, I don't think it's essential, but it'll really help. Similarly with the passive one, but I think this one's a little better. Even though this is only on this turn and the passive one is on every turn, so you can weigh that. I think they're both really great. Alright, his special, this is only on a 3-turn cooldown. Attack primary, apply 1 offense down, plus 1 offense down. If the target does not have barrier, apply stun. So the passive attack, part of increasing the damage on this is to clear this barrier so that you can get to the stun. Rebound chain to 4 adjacent targets. But I will say, I think that's a kind of I don't like this hindrance on this stun. Rebound chain to 4 adjacent targets, and apply +1 up to a maximum of 3. Apply defense up and immunity to self and all Illuminati. If his health is above 50%, gain taunt. If his health is below 50%, apply +1 speed up to a maximum of 3 to all hero support allies. It's a call out for Hank, but if you were to put another hero support in there, which off the top of my head, I feel like the supports we've been getting have been villains recently. I'm not sure. Let me know which hero support. Not that you would run them with them, but like, who are some hero supports? Void Knight. You know what? You might run Void Knight with this. Actually, he prevents speed bar. So you would never run Void Knight with Captain Britain. Okay, I'm so distracted today, going off on tangents. Let me know a hero support. Put it in the chat. In Crucible, clear revive once from primary and each secondary. This action gains extra focus. Alright. The T4 adds damage. Great. In Crucible, if he has 2 or more Illuminati allies, apply trauma for 2 turns to the primary target. Now we're getting into essential territory. I think this is an essential T4. Alright. Ooh. The Awakening Crystal makes it where he does not do the barrier check to apply stun. You know, it's hard to say essential for an Awakening material when we don't know how to acquire them. But this is very good. Yeah. It's very good. And we added trauma in Crucible, so it's gonna be a stun trauma, both abilities. Very good. Yeah. I can't bear calling it essential because it's a sold item. But yeah, if you can get your hands on it, get your hands on it. Alright, basic. Attack primary, clear 2 positive effects. If they don't have barrier, do more damage. Apply 2 deflect and defense up to self and all hero allies. The T4 increases the defense up to 2 turns, which is nice. I don't think that's essential. And then the Awakening makes it where he goes from clearing 2 to clearing all. Very nice, but all in all, it's not essential. If we were looking at T4s overall, the special is the only essential one. Ultimate and passive are very nice, and the basic is nice. And then speaking of crystals, they kind of follow the similar hierarchy. The special is the best. Keep in mind, you're probably going to use the special on turn 2. So, less impactful of an ability technically, but it's on a lower cooldown, so you're probably going to use it more frequently. The special Awakening, I would say, is the best. The ultimate is very, very, very nice. The passive is very nice. And then basic is very nice. It's nice. What can I say? Clear all positive effects. Do they have counter on this team? Off the top of my head, I can't recall. Maybe Hank applies it. But when we get into ISOs, we'll talk a little more about it. It's a nice upgrade, but I would not drop $1. If it was $1, I would buy. Okay, if it was $1, I would buy it. If it was $5, would I buy it? I don't know. Anyway, this is probably the messiest crash course I've ever done, so bear with me. Alright, we're done with the abilities. Let's talk about ISO classes. Looking at this basic, he's a striker. Regardless if you go with Black Bolt or Iron Man, or you take out all of them and just keep the new ones, he's a striker. Applying the defense up on his ISO attack is great. Because, see, he applies defense up on his special. He doesn't on his ultimate. So he's gonna take. Well, they have defense up on spawn. That's separate. But him applying that 2-turn defense up means he replenishes it for Hank and Shuri. That's one thing. The more important thing I'm getting, when Shuri gains defense up, She applies 2 bleeds to everybody. Um, and I think that's very nice. Purely based on that, I think Captain Britain is a striker. The buff clear is also very nice. Now, secondary, I can see Fortifier on him because he has a lot of callouts to being over 50%. And he has this passive attack where he can drain from everybody and then do his actual attack and then drain. I think Fortifier is a good call, and he's an important character to keep alive, especially because of this passive. So I do think Fortifier is a good choice, especially if you're going to stay to that 3-star level. You want Fortifier before you go Striker at higher stars. That's my recommendation. I might be a little subjective regarding Shuri, but I think she's great, and like triggering that passive for those bleeds is gonna be great. So I like this ISO attack just to support her. Building wise, as I said, he's very important for this team. If you're unlocking him, clearly you've already bought into the situation, for better or worse. So you've spent a lot of money to get here. Spend your resources, build him very high. Even if you're not gonna buy his extra offers and you're gonna stick to 3 stars, build him very high. And then if you're watching this down the line where he's available free to play, I'm guessing they're gonna make his shards very slow trickle. Build him high so he survives. He's important. Yeah, as much as you're able to. And then, final thing. If you're not gonna build the team at all, and this is down the line for you, you've just unlocked him, and you're going to use him as a plug-and-play character, I think, again, you want to build him high so he survives, so he can provide this speed bar prevention. Because if he dies, then people start gaining speed bar. But, one thing, even if he is just gear tier 4, which I think were the passive unlocks, and he has this on his tier 1 passive. If you just build him where he has his tier 1 passive, you can bring him to prevent speed bar on spawn, and even that might help you win a fight. So that would Skrull doesn't gain it on spawn, but it's just as well. He gains it before he takes a turn, so he would still prevent that speed bar. He would prevent Void Knight's speed bar on spawn, as we just discussed. He would prevent Green Goblins. So he would prevent speed bars on spawn. You could do that. That's a way of min-maxing it, but that's down the line. And by the time if you're that guy or that person and you're unlocking him down the line and you're just going to use him free to play or plug and play as a solo character for that just speed bar on spawn, or just preventing speed bar altogether, by that time we've probably garnered a lot of experience with this character and figured out what else he can do. So keep an eye out for all of that. But I do think that's an option for him. But I think right now, those of us unlocking him right now have already bought into the team. So let's make the best use out of it. All right, that was long-winded. Dark Dimension, I think he's a good choice for Dark Dimension, but not solo. I would want you to bring him with Hank. I would, in fact, I would say Hank, then Shuri, then Britain. But the more of them you have, the better, obviously. And I think that trio with Black Knight and Nightcrawler will be great. Um, but Hank's the healer, so you want him. And he is the slowest out of them. He doesn't have any speed bar mechanics. That would be kind of uh, hypocritical if he prevents speed bar in Crucible and then gains speed bar elsewhere. So he doesn't have any of those. He's kind of slow. He gives speed up in one of these, right? In his special, we talked about it. Yeah, here, but only if he's below 50%. Um, anyway, again rambling. I think he's a good choice for Dark Dimension. But as a third choice. In my plans, I wish to take him to my second run. I'm already past global for this one, but for the second run, I want to take Hank, then Shuri, then Captain Britain, to hopefully have a better time in global. In my first run, global was my worst section, which this time around I will be going in with better stars on my Cabal, so it might be a little better, but I'd rather try these guys and see what that looks like. So keep an eye out for that. That's probably a couple weeks, if not month. Not month. I hope it's not months. I hope I'm in my second run by like mid-August. But so yeah, that's keep an eye out for that. So that's my plan. I did buy Sherry. I did buy Hank. I will be unlocking him. In terms of his like bonus offers for extra shards, I don't know. We don't know what the pricing tier is on that. I will see. I will evaluate, and then I will decide. I'm not going into this saying, oh, I have to buy him up to 5-6 stars. I don't know. If it's crazy expensive, I'm not going to do it. If it's regular character pricing, I still might not go for it because I'm a little tired of spending. Shuri and Hank were expensive enough. I did splurge, but everybody has a limit, right? So let's see what that looks like. And the Annihilators are going to be a good team. I don't want to spend on unlock offers for them, but I'll probably buy every pass that they're in. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to spend anymore. Let's see what his offers look like. I hope they have a good shard to dollar ratio. So, did I miss anything? We talked abilities in detail. We talked building, gear, leveling. We talked ISO 8 classes. We talked Dark Dimension. We talked my plans. So there you have it. His specials upgrades are the best, then the ultimate, then the passive, then the basic. Let me know hero support, don't forget, in the comments. And then also let me know what you're doing with Captain Britain. It's kind of a messy situation. It is what it is. I hope they learn the correct lessons from this experiment. This feels like an experiment. I hope they learn the right lessons from it. Alright, thank you for going over Captain Britain's kit with me. I do hope to see you in the next one. Oh, I will post the link to the infographic in the description. Thank you for doing this with me. I hope to see you in the next one.